What is up, my friends? Welcome to John Smoltz Day here on Flippin' Bats. First off, Shohei Ohtani returning to the mound on Monday. From John's perspective, are the Dodgers doing this right with him as an opener, but only for an inning Monday, but maybe an inning or two or three going forward? Is that the right way to handle him? And obviously, from his Hall of Fame perspective, how did he look? What did he think? And is he pumped to see him back out on the mound? Earlier this week, Monday, Shohei Ohtani, really out of nowhere, made his return to the mound. We were all of a sudden told he might be back sooner than the All-Star break. We don't exactly know, but his stuff is game ready. And then, like a day later, we hear, you know what? He's starting Monday as an opener against the San Diego Padres. First question to you, before I ask too much, is did you watch or did you get to see any of it?
So I had the four-channel mix, MLB on one of my screens, and I looked over and I actually told my wife, "Oh my gosh, Otani's pitching," and she didn't know what, she was like, "What do you mean?" So yeah, I watched it, and I was so fired up for him. You could just tell emotionally he was trying to keep everything in check, but I thought he was great. He's facing the Padres right out of it. I would have probably not expected that to be the case, but with Otani, expect the unexpected.
Were you at all expecting 100 miles an hour? I mean, that second arm surgery, first time back on the mound, and we see 100 miles an hour. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
I was glad that not every pitch was 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I think he's learning. I think he's got to learn this second time around that when he needs it, he can use it, but don't use it every single time. I thought his pitches were crisp. There was going to be the split finger that was going to have, he spiked a couple of them, but I'm telling you, I've been the biggest fan of his arm. I believe, and I've said this multiple times, that he would be one of the best pitchers in the game if all he did was pitch. Well, we're never going to see that. So in the meantime, we're going to see a really, really darn good pitcher that happens to be one of the best players in the history of the game.
So all in all, positives for
Yeah.
Shohei in his return. He looked good. What are your thoughts about the way they're using him? It seems from their perspective, they're going to use him as an opener, and he's just going to build up as an opener. His stuff's game ready. So my thoughts are, if it's game ready, let him build up, throwing 1, 2, 3 innings. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, which they don't need him till the end, I think you get him used to the stresses of getting up, getting in, obviously hitting right away. You could see his anxiousness when he got to the dugout. He had to put on his helmet. He had to lead off. All these things you got to get used to again, and it's going to take a minute for him to get to 5 innings. And look, the reality is you would want him to have rehab starts, but you can't do that. So
Yeah.
the rehab starts are going to come in chunks in the big leagues. And listen, the Dodgers are well equipped to have those kind of games where they can pitch multiple people to get through the game. So I think it's going to be very well put together. And it's great that he's going to get these stresses before the All-Star game